What's your budget on this show?
I don't know. The horse's feet don't move. There's a flag.
The wheels do.
Oh, the wheels move, but the feet don't. Okay.
You hear them.
All right, one more time.
What's your budget on this show?
We got enough to go to Oklahoma City. They're a wagon. Here's the highlight. Over early. This Minnesota team fought so hard on their home floor the other night, you're wondering how much gas is left in the tank. Not enough. Transition, SGA to Chet. Thunder up 2. They lead by 6. Shai up top again, the thin man. Quick timeout from Minnesota. Not enough. Give me that. Alex Caruso. Here, you do it, MVP. Okay. And Caruso, you don't have to ask for him to cheer. They're ready to go. How about this great pass? Lou Dort. Oh, actually, that was Cason Wallace. I beg your pardon. SGA scored or assisted on 24 of the 26 first quarter points. Meanwhile, Minnesota had 9. That was not enough. It's 32-14 down low. This defense is just, again, as Tim Legler described it, they're takers of joy. There's a cruelty to it. Off the break, it's another dunk. Here, another steal. In transition, Jalen Williams. 14 turnovers for the Wolves, the most in the first half this season. Finch at this point would like a lager. SGA mid-range. It's 53-27. They've already got a closeout win this postseason of 32 in a Game 7. They get another 30-plus victory. There's another deuce. Thunder, the first team to lead by 30 or more at the half in 3 games in a postseason in the history of the NBA. Another rip and a throwdown from Shai. The lead's 26. Got excited to do it earlier. This is for Bucci. If you're watching Bucci, Lou Dort. He hits the 3. It's a 26-point lead. Off the miss, it's Caruso. Another possession, all alone. Give me all 3 of these. Sure. He ties Michael Jordan and Amari Stoudemire for the most consecutive 30-point games at home in a single postseason. One more time, float game. 34 to go with 8 helpers. Some late buckets actually made it closer than it was for most of the game, and it was still a 30-point victory. And the Thunder roll on to the NBA Finals. Oklahoma City, a step closer to an all-time season. The 4th team since the NBA-ABA merger to reach the finals after winning at least 68 games in the regular season, joining the 73-win Warriors and 2 of Michael Jordan's squads in Chicago. Meanwhile, the 26-year-old MVP leads this extremely young group. They're the youngest team to reach the NBA Finals since the Trail Blazers 50 years ago, led by the late, great Bill Walton, who we lost a year ago in a day. Still miss you, Big Red. In order to win it all, SGA will have to become the first player to win the NBA scoring title and championship in the same season since Shaq in 2000. Each scoring champion to reach the final since has fallen short, including Kevin Durant with OKC in 2012. So thank you very much, Tim Legler alongside. And Legs, let's dive right in. This Oklahoma City team has an ability to just dismantle teams. This is the 4th game, I should say, in the playoffs of 30 or more. They're obliterating good teams. Boston had a recipe a year ago similar to this, but you see something different in the manner in which the Thunder are doing this. What is it?
The way I would describe Boston in the past would be they end you with the three-point shooting. That's how they end your spirit for the night. Oklahoma City does that with their defense. They demoralize you with the way they just continue to come at you. No relief in sight anywhere on the floor because they're all committed to it. You hand them off from one elite defender to another. Right. It's a nightmare. And as a result, that's where you see teams let go a little bit earlier against them on certain nights. They've done it 5 times in the postseason.
I don't know if this is a first, but this is a touchscreen very early of defense. This is where I wrote down takers of joy. That's what you labeled this Thunder team. Yeah. They are takers of joy, and they do it on the defensive end.
Take all the fun out of the game, man. The fun part's putting the ball in the hoop, right? Yeah. So let me throw these on real quick. All right, so
the glasses on for this.
Yeah, I got it. I don't want to miss anything here.
Right,
so as always, I want to set the context. Just 2 minutes and 20 seconds into the game.
It's 3-3. Here we go.
3-3,
Buckle up.
This is pretty much how this is about to go, and it starts with this guy right here, Lu Dort. Look where he's picking up. He's going to be 80 feet from the basket because they are targeting this man right here, Anthony Edwards. They want to make his night as miserable as possible. I want you to watch Lu Dort get up in him, and he's going to make him change directions once, twice, 3 times. He hasn't even gotten to half court yet. Now, what you see a lot, right, they'll run a big into the backcourt. Let me clean this up and give my guy some space. That's common. What is uncommon is to see the big that defends that screener get up to this extent where his feet are in the backcourt to defend this. You just don't see it. And ultimately, it leads to this. You stay with it. You want the ball out of his hands. They do that. Now, take a look at what happens here. Rudy Gobert is going to dive down the middle. They're not too concerned about him. But watch the effort that Isaiah Hartenstein gives to run with him into the paint. And what that means now, you can stay here, and then watch Chet on the weak side. He's going to help a little bit in pinch, but ultimately he knows he's got this closeout. So we play through it, give it up, and here's Lu Dort. No, you're not getting it back. Now it's a wrestling match here. Everybody's squared up, and when this ball gets swung, perfect technique on the closeout. You do not allow middle. He cuts off middle, drive baseline. And you know why he's not worried about that? Because no team in the league does this better than the Oklahoma City Thunder. Slide, chip down. Both of these guys will be needed if necessary. Force him baseline, behind the rim. You see the pinch down right here by Jalen Williams. Now, as it turns out, Scott, he closes out and contests this, but I'm telling you right now, if he got hung up in here, this is what's beautiful about them. Shai would have gone, Dort would have gone here, and then Jalen Williams would have gone right here as Anthony Edwards was running into this shot. Didn't need all that because Jalen Williams closes out, gets vertical, they contest everything, and then you finish with this right here. Box out, let the guard come in and clean it up. It's a textbook possession. It's what they do to you. It's 3-3. Minnesota didn't even know what was in store for them to come the rest of that quarter when they put up a total of 9 points.
Yeah, 9, a niner. And as we were watching upstairs, I'm like, 9's probably suboptimal if you're going to try to extend this series.
Very true.
The list of superlatives that you could apply to this Thunder team is lengthy. Where does yours start?
It definitely starts with the fact they've got more elite on-ball perimeter defenders than any team in the league. Mm-hmm. And the fact that you could take a guy like, say, Lu Dort, first-team all-defense.
Torture chamber.
In this league. You got guys like Jalen Williams, Cason Wallace, Alex Caruso. Think about the fact that Lu Dort can hand you off to someone and there's no drop-off in ball pressure from a guy that's first-team all-league defense. Mm-hmm. That is what they do that's different than everybody else in the league. Everywhere on the court, there's an elite pressure ball defender. And then if you do get by them, you've got 2 bigs in the paint that are also exceptional defensive players. The buy-in, Scott, to the effort is unlike any other team in the league, how much they love competing, playing hard, and how much joy they get out of watching you suffer.
Chase and rake. You described that they never stop pursuing and they never stop reaching in to try to rip balls away. Now, the one thing that we tend to do in our business is anoint ahead of the parade. They've only won 12 of the required 16. Right. But there is this urge, given their youth, given their talent, to say this is a team that's going to be around for a while, whether they win Larry O'Brien this year or not. Is there anything that gives you pause to say about this young team, get used to it because they're going to be around for a while?
Not worried about it at all because they have established a clear and well-defined pecking order at the top of their roster. Mm-hmm. It's well-defined as Shai is their guy. Jalen Williams very comfortable in that second role. I don't think that's going to change. Chet Holmgren as number 3. Now, the role players, over time they might have to plug and play some different guys as those guys maybe leave, get a little bit more money to go somewhere else. You never know. There's no egos on this team. So it makes it easy to get everybody else, whoever you bring in, to buy in around those top guys. Obviously exceptionally well coached. The thing that Chet Holmgren alluded to was we bring it every night, 17 guys. That's what really separates them right now from everybody else. The buy-in to the effort collectively for each other. It's special, and I don't think they're going to have the problem at the top because I just don't see those top guys looking at this any differently. Like maybe it's supposed to be me. Or I want my own team. Very difficult to keep it together if that's the case. I don't see that with this group.
For Chris Finch in Minnesota.
I remember having a conversation with Anthony, like, I don't know, mid-season. I said, what do you think a good season feels like? What do you think that looks like for us right now? Like, and he said, let's get into the playoffs, win around, and see where we go. And it was exactly my thought at the time, too. I felt like if we can get into the playoffs and win around, like, there's no reason we couldn't go farther. And at the time, we were not a very fully formed team. Like, we had a lot of struggles right at that point in time. But that was the goal. And, guys kind of shifted their emphasis. And, so I got to be proud of that. I mean, at this point in time, you want to go further. But, we got to try to lay a foundation where we can keep learning. So.
Is there anything roster-wise you think you need against a defense like that to kind of continue to complement Ant? It felt like a lot of times he was the only one who could really break down off the bounce, especially tonight.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I think the league is, the more handlers you have, I think it's especially with all the switching and, with these guys with their gaps and stuff like that, you got to have guys who can go somewhere, break the paint, make the play. I'm excited. We got a lot of good young players on our roster here that didn't necessarily get the run that maybe they should have this season. But, I really like where we are, and I'm sure our front office will do a great job in the offseason and the draft because they always do.
Shai, I feel like I'm wearing you out this last week between the MVP and now this, but hopefully, given the fact that you guys have the finals to talk about, it's not too much of a pain. Thanks for taking a minute to say hello. Oh, we're doing that.
I can't hear anybody right now.
Okay, we're doing that thing again. Shai,
No,
it's
I
Scott,
can't hear
can you hear me?
anybody.
Okay.
Yes, Scott, I can hear you now.
Ah, there we go.
We're good
Welcome
now.
back, Shai. I said we're wearing you out this last week between the MVP and this, but thank you for stopping by. As the late, great Kobe Bryant once said, the job's not finished, right? 16 are required for a title.
Absolutely.
You've got a dozen. I appreciate that it's just a step in the journey, but what do you and your teammates allow yourself to enjoy most about this significant step?
Yeah, it's a lot of hard work to make it this late into the season. A lot of ups and downs, the emotions of the NBA season, the emotion of the playoffs. It's important to be grateful. It's important to enjoy the moment. You never know how many times stuff like this is going to happen, but it's also very important to know that we have more work to do, and I think this group is the perfect group to tackle that mentally.
Yeah, I think you guys have made that clear. Every man to a man afterwards with Lisa made that point crystal clear. The appetite you guys have to compete is so impressive to me because these are great teams, and you're obliterating teams nightly. What's the source of that, where it's just never satisfied in a game, where if we're up 10, let's be up 20. If we're up 20, let's be up 30. It seems like a fire that never goes out.
Yeah, we don't ever play the score. We play possessions. We play to our standard every possession, and we try to win every possession. And when you do that, you go on big runs and you look up and you're up 20, you're up 30. You never know what you're up, but we don't focus on the score. We don't focus on anything besides being the best version of us, and that's why we're a pretty good team.
Take a look over your shoulder at what I'm looking at. Go ahead. There you go. Oh, he stopped.
Bro, go away, bro.
It never stops with you guys, which is.
Go ahead, Scott. My bad.
No, it's all good. Hey, listen, enjoy your night. I saw you holding your son and big old headphones on. It's late, but I get it. Let him stay up early. What's been the most memorable moment for your group thus far? Again, understanding that the mountaintop is off in the distance. Has there been a moment as a group that you've really particularly enjoyed, Shai?
I don't know if I have one specific moment, but the best days are like the days in between the competition, the days when we're like on the road together, just chilling, the days when we're at home and we go over to someone's house and watch the game, like the days when we just build camaraderie, the days when we just enjoy each other's company. Those are the best days. Those are the days that nobody sees, that don't, I guess, get on the forefront, but those are the days that we cherish, the days that we really enjoy each other, and they've helped us be the team that we are. So those type of days for sure.
Right on. I love that. What a great answer. Last quick thought here. This is a game and a time of year where it's built off a rhythm and tempo, and you play and you rest. You play and you rest. And I'm sure rest is valuable now, but what do you do with now the week and a day before you play again?
Yeah, we got to stay ready. We've dealt with a little bit of that to start the postseason.
Right.
Coming out the regular season and then sweeping in the first round and waiting for the next round. But, yeah, regardless, it's the biggest stage of basketball in the world ever. So no matter what, we should be very, very ready to go.
Indeed. And we're coming out there. Looking forward to being there and bringing our show to your building. I can't wait to experience that. So we'll see you next Thursday, Shai. I appreciate you taking the time.
All right, Scott. Appreciate it. See you.
All right. Look forward to it. For the second consecutive year, the Timberwolves fall in the Western Conference Finals. Anthony Edwards on how this one came to an end.
They're just a really, like I said, man, once again, they're a really good team. Everyone here knows it. It's no surprise to nobody that this team is pretty good. Yeah, so, yeah, they was ready, man. They're very prepared. And like I said before, well coached, top to bottom.
And you won a gold medal, so you know what it's like to be a champ. You know what it's like to get to the championship game. NBA side, however, you came up short twice. Knowing what it's like to be on the winning side, how much does it hurt and what does it feel like to come up short of the finals 2 years in a row?
It's exciting. I don't know why people would think it would hurt. I mean, it's exciting for me. I'm 23. I get to do it a whole bunch of times. I'm hurt more so for myself, for Mike. I came up short for Mike. Like I said, we tried last year. We couldn't get it. We tried again this year. I'm gonna try again next year. But hurting is a terrible word to use. I'm good. Yeah.
And considering, like, looking at Mike and his longevity, how hard it is to get there, does that put this in perspective at all too?
Yeah. I'm gonna work my butt off this summer. Nobody's gonna work harder than me this summer. I tell you that much. So. Yeah, I'll try to make it happen again for Mike.
From one Mike to Michael Malone, who joins us now. And Michael, this Thunder team is awfully deep. But at this place in time, it's pretty clear that Shai, Chet, and Jalen Williams have identified themselves as the main trio. Well, they have 90 some odd in that win the other night. And they set the tone in this one. And it felt like it was over early. What did they do in this game from the jump that said there'll be no more of this?
Well, to your point, they are the big three in OKC, 95 in Game 4, and then they come home with a chance to eliminate Minnesota, and they drop 75 more tonight. Obviously, Shai leads the charge, Scott. We know he's capable of putting up big numbers, led the league in scoring, great playmaker, is going to make all of his teammates better. But then you have Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren playing at a really high level. Give Jalen Williams credit. Tough Game 6 against Denver, and he's been great in the Western Conference Finals. Shai can get to anywhere he wants on the court. That mid-range jump shot, which you just saw, so smooth. And he trusts his teammates. He trusts them. He makes them better. Chet knocks down the three right there. Chet had 3 blocks tonight. So they are very deep. It starts with Shai, but you got to give a lot of credit to Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren for what they've added to this team as they make the NBA Finals.
Earlier in the program, Michael, I was talking with Tim Legler about just the defense of this Thunder team. He said it's almost cruel. Like what they do to teams, it just never ends. And there's a stat in the broadcast, third quarter, Minnesota had 15 turnovers. They had 15 field goals in a closeout game. I think they ended up with 21 turnovers. How do you describe this Thunder defense that for a bunch of this year, you were trying to figure out how to solve? I don't know if there's an answer to that riddle.
Well, I'm not sure there is either, Scott. These guys are unrelenting in everything they do defensively. Great hands, shrink the floor, collapse on the ball. They made it really hard for Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle to play in space. And if you get beat, there's a guy waiting. And what happens, especially in this building, and we saw it tonight and throughout the series, when you turn the ball over, you're fueling the break. At halftime, they're down 33 points, and they had more turnovers than made field goals. You can't beat your opponent and yourself in the same game, and whoever they play in the NBA Finals, that's going to be the biggest challenge going in. Can you find a way to value the ball and get a great shot every time down the floor against one of the best defenses we've seen in a long time?
I only have time for one quick one, Michael. You know what it is to coach a team to win 16 games. They have the 4 most important wins ahead of them. Is there anything that would give you pause to say this team's going to get him? Anything at all that you've seen that gives you a hesitation?
No, everything I've seen from this team, coaching against them 4 times this year, being here for the entirety of the Western Conference Finals, this team is legit. They have offense, they have defense, they have a star, they have a bench, and Mark Daigneault is a hell of a coach. Calm, cool, collected. His team believes in him, and you've got to give Mark and Sam Presti a ton of credit.
Appreciate the time, Michael. I'll look forward to talking to you somewhere soon down the road, all right?
Okay, Scott, appreciate you.
Jalen and Scott Van Pelt, thank you for saying hello again. Congratulations. I'll ask you the same thing I just asked Shai. You understand that 4 big wins are still required, but 12 is a hell of an accomplishment. How satisfying is this moment?
It's pretty cool. I've never really won anything, so it's cool that I'm one step closer to, winning something big. This moment is very cool. We're going to enjoy it for probably about 2 days, and then, obviously we got bigger fish to fry.
How heavy is that thing?
I can't lie. It's like holding a kid. It's like 40 pounds.
Yeah, you want to put it down? Because it looks a little heavy. Like it looks like it might be so. You're going to hold that thing, huh?
No, I'm going to hold it. I brought it out here. I'm going to hold it. I need to turn it over so y'all can see it. There we go.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. So as we look behind you, I see Shai and his family, and it's just this connectivity of the group. Last time you were on with me, you mentioned Chet and his whole crew in the building in Minnesota. It's something I feel like we've asked so often about, Jalen, but just when you really enjoy each other's company, and Shai's saying you're spending off days together, I just feel like that's just so productive on the floor. Do you think that that's a big part of what we see nightly from your group?
For sure. We take pride in it. I think everybody always talks about how we're kind of like an AAU team, and it sounds like a joke, but it's also kind of just like how our team is. We really enjoy being around each other. You play so many games in the NBA. You go through so many ups and downs. I feel like it just has made us closer. We're all around the same age. We're all going through the same part of the NBA together, and we kind of lean in on that to propel us forward.
I would disagree about the AAU just because you can lose 4 or 5 games in a day, and it's fine as long as everybody gets their looks and gets those high major looks. But you guys as a group are now setting this aggressive pace, and you get to rest for a week. Is that a bad thing, though, when you've got this kind of rhythm as a team?
There's no such thing as bad rest, especially when you start getting deep into the season. But yeah, it'll be a good time to recharge. And just looking forward to getting better during that week is going to be the biggest thing.
Well, get your rest, but first enjoy this night because it's to be enjoyed, and you guys have been spectacular. I look forward to being in the building. We're bringing our program out to your neck of the woods next week. So we'll look forward to seeing you Thursday night for the start of the finals, Jalen. Congratulations. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, guys.
Indeed.
One big thing.
It's always fun to remember the SVP and Russillo days. Many of you seem to share that sentiment, which we both genuinely appreciate. I think back to the middle of our radio show in 2012 and remember a thought that I shared about the Oklahoma City Thunder at the time. Enjoy the now. Powered by a trio of young stars, none older than 23, the Thunder beat the Spurs in 6 to go to the NBA Finals, and the presumption was, behold, the future of the NBA has arrived. They had miles of wide open road like Interstate 35. Or that was it. One and done on the final stage. James Harden, first to go, traded to Houston before the next season, couldn't sort out an extension. Kevin Durant remained until his brief but brilliant stay in Golden State. The lone holdover was Russell Westbrook, who stayed until 2020 and has since played for 5 different teams over the last 6 seasons. But all 3 do remain significant contributors to their respective teams, even as they approach their late 30s. Meanwhile, the Thunder, once again, are led by a trio of young stars and once again are back in the NBA Finals. The comp is a little off in that Shai is a tad older. The MVP's 26, but Jalen Williams, 24. Chet is just 23. And my message again to Oklahoma City and at this stage of the career, to myself as well, enjoy the now. Because rarely does anything in this life remain status quo, no matter how often we might wish it so. This group does appear to be connected in a rare way, and this is important. There is a clear hierarchy for that trio of stars. There wasn't the last time around. Also, the economics of the league don't leave the Thunder at a competitive disadvantage in terms of keeping that group together. But again, I am focused on the present, mainly to acknowledge the most significant common denominator in then and now, and that's Sam Presti. The NBA's Executive of the Year deserves all the accolades and praise for the construction of this group, and I must cop to not seeing the chessboard as clearly as he did during what turned out to be a quick reboot. The roadmap's truly fascinating. It goes back to trades made for long since retired players. More recently, the most significant move, the trade that landed the MVP for Paul George, along with a pile of first-round picks, one of which became Jalen Williams. Then after a season where they were the 1 seed, probably a little bit ahead of schedule and still a little bit green, they add veterans like Alex Caruso and Isaiah Hartenstein, who are key cogs in the Thunder wagon. All of which adds up to this massive opportunity ahead. 4 more wins for Larry O'Brien. Could be the start of something big. Time will tell. Sort it out down the road. But today, Thunder fans, I say what I said way back when. Enjoy what you have, because it's all you need. The here and now.